Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is to bring on a couple of subject matter experts in the first two sections, and in the third section, time allowing, I will give out some free tips and techniques on how you can do this or that to achieve even greater success using various Internet marketing techniques. So it could be on content marketing, digital marketing, video production, or whatever the case may be. But these subject matter experts that I bring on, they have already been there and they've already done that. So in bringing them on, they're going to talk about ways in which they can help you as individuals, but also some of the pitfalls that they have gone through when they were just starting out. And hearing the pitfalls that they went through, A, you'll realize you're not alone, but B, because they are now successful, you'll also get a heads up on how they dealt with those, so maybe you can actually avoid those. And our first guest today is Brad Powell of Awesome Video Makers, and he is a Facebook Live specialist who teaches business owners and entrepreneurs how to convey their brand and personal stories and be more confident doing so. Brad, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sparing your time. And as we all know, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, they're having a pretty rough day now. They're down about $12 in the stock market. But beyond that, about by 2020, probably 70 to 80% or more of all searches on the search engines are going to result in videos. So video marketing is huge. And it's not just about creating a video and pushing it out. It's about storytelling and connecting with your audience. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like these days, I mean, just from a behavioral point of view, people are showing that they prefer to watch a video than do other things online, like read a blog post or read a text post. And on a platform like Facebook, it turns out that a live video, when you're actually going live, people will watch that video for a longer period of time. And, it's more than 80% of people are watching videos on Facebook than looking at picture posts or text posts combined. It's really quite amazing.
Nice. And also, if somebody does create a video, and we can get more into that later, but they can also repurpose it by uploading it to YouTube, their website, and we can get into that later. But it has one piece of content that can be used multiple times. Am I correct?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I mean, people think about video as, oh my gosh, let's not go there. It's going to be, way too much work. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to take way too much time. And my feeling about it is that actually, none of those things are true. You can make a really professional-looking video just with your smartphone. And so you already own a smartphone, and this basically is going to cost you nothing. And if you're doing a live video, then the only time it takes to do it is the time it takes to talk into your phone and to talk, on the video. And when you're done, it's there. It's uploaded, it's on, and it's visible, and it's already engaging people. And of course, if you're spending any time on social media where you're not only on Facebook, but you do something on YouTube, or maybe you spend time on LinkedIn, or you have your own blog, or you send out emails, going live with one video, you can take that same video and you can put it across all these other channels. So you can upload it to YouTube, you can put it on LinkedIn, you can embed it into a blog post on your website, and then you can send out an email and say, hey, I just made a video for you guys. Go check it out on my site. And now you're everywhere that you want to be. And to produce that piece of content only took you that time of talking on the live video.
I love it, Brad. And you're so right. You're so right to such a point that if you look at Instagram, they've recently allowed people to go live and upload
That's right.
videos directly. Instagram has adopted it, which is also owned by Facebook. But so, I mean, live videos is huge. But one thing I hear now, I often tell my customers and clients too that they need to be doing more videos, and I've actually sent people to you. I mean, listeners, Brad is my go-to guy for this, so hopefully that will let you know that he's definitely the person to go to. He's who I go to and who I send my people to. But Brad, one of the main things I hear when I talk to people about the videos, one is like they don't have the confidence level that they have the subject. What do I talk about? And I'm amazed at that because they're all really good at what they do. So it's somewhat of a confidence level, and then they worry about how they look and feel. And these are things that you help people with, isn't it? I mean, I like to tell my people, just be real, raw, and relatable. You know, you don't want a slickly polished video. You do for certain scenarios, like for your website and promo videos and stuff. But if you're doing a live, you want to connect with your audience. But a lot of times people have so much fear in doing that, it actually stops them from doing it. This is something that you help people with. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what I see all the time, and it's really the biggest block that people have in terms of doing video. And the good news is that when you're talking about doing a live video, you're kind of off the hook of having to be perfect because it's live, and it's really not possible to do it absolutely perfectly because you are being, you're doing something live. It's real. It's in the moment. And the other thing about it is that the people who are watching you, they don't actually want you to be perfect. They actually want you to be yourself. And so the more that you can do that and you can show up as the person who you are, the more attractive you become to the folks that you actually want to draw into your business. So, and the other thing about it is that people get the idea that when they go on a video, it's really important to convey a lot of information. And it's really, not it. Like, that's not what people are looking for. And it's not what they're going to remember. They're going to remember how you make them feel, and they're going to remember if you inspire them. And so the thing you want to focus on when you make a video is inspiring people to take action. And, we're all in business of one kind to solve a problem. And, whatever problem it is that your business solves, you want to be conveying data kind of information. It's like, here, talk to the people that you're talking to on your video in a way that makes them feel as though you understand them. And makes them see that there's some solution here that they can actually do. And if you give them any kind of experience of getting closer to that solution while you're talking on that video, that's super, super powerful.
I love it. And I agree with all that. Isn't it, though, it's a process. People aren't just going to pick up a smartphone or a mobile camera or something and just start doing lives and bang them out perfectly or whatever. It is a process. Am I correct? So they shouldn't be beating themselves up if they don't get it right, or at least right in their mind the first time.
Well, it's like anything that takes skill. It takes practice. And my main advice is, you want to make a lot of videos. And people think like, oh, I need to make a single perfect video and I'm going to put it on my homepage of my website and that's it. And then I'm done. And that's really not it at all. In fact, I'm kind of on a mission to show that video making is not about broadcasting, but it's more about having a conversation. And with a live video especially, you have this opportunity to talk to people in real time. And so when you go on, you want to be not just, broadcasting, not just talking at the audience who's watching, but you want to engage them. You want them to be asking you questions. You want them to be responding to you. And they can do this by, typing responses into the comments, which you can see, and you can, again, respond back to them in real time. So by having this kind of conversation, you're really changing the dynamic of what a video can do and what it can be. And you want to do this on a fairly regular basis. So like at least once a week, you get on and you're talking for 20 to 30 minutes. And you're not just, literally talking that whole time, but you're engaging with the people who are watching. And what's really good about this from a business perspective and from a marketing perspective is that every time someone responds to you, you now know who they are. It's real lead generation. They, their profile picture shows up, their name shows up, and they're commenting, and you can reply back to them even after the video is over and continue that conversation and continue to follow up with them and turn them from being a lead into, converting into getting on your email list or, having a conversation with you on the phone or anything like that. And this is very, very, like every time you go live, you could be generating 10, 20, 30 new leads of people who are watching and engaging with you. And then you can follow up with them. And a lot of this follow-up can be automated.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I want just to give the definition of content marketing. Content marketing has been defined as a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. But what it basically, when you get down into it a little more, it talks about how you do that. And how you do that is with storytelling. And that's something that you specialize in. Am I correct?
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, this is very important. Again, it's not about information. It's about what kind of story can you tell. And the cool thing is that as humans, we're really wired. Our brains are wired for story. And it goes all the way back to, early human time of people coming in and saying, hey, man, I just saw a tiger and I didn't die. And everybody leans in and goes, oh, I want to hear this story because if I ever see the tiger, I want to know what this guy did to get away. And we still, are wired to pay attention to storytelling, any kind of storytelling. So if you start, talking about, well, this is something that happened and this is what, here's the challenge that I faced and here's how I dealt with that challenge, whether I overcame it or whether I got steamrolled by it. Either way, it's interesting, and it's something that we will all pay attention to.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And so going right into, let's give them a story. I know, when I give presentations, I speak around the country on internet marketing. I know that if I just talk to them about the facts, what this is, how it can help you, people get it a bit. But when I can actually put it in terms that they can understand in terms of, you just talked about with the tiger and how I survived it. So I might talk about SEO like you're driving down the street and, there's a house up on the hill, there's one road that leads to it, but SEO is kind of like stoplights and arrows and all this other stuff that, so I can go in and illuminate certain things. With that said, can you give us a story of somebody that you worked with that was super nervous in the beginning and I don't want to say nailed it at the end, but just got to a point where they were, so much more confident?
Yeah, sure. There's a woman that I've been working with for the past, really about a year now, and it's interesting, she's a success coach, and she actually has a pretty successful business, which is called Success with Benefits. And she was not doing any video. And, here she was, working with very high-level executives and very professional, and she really had this perfectionist hang-up of well, if I do anything, it's got to be really, really perfect, and it's got to look just so. And so we worked for, a while getting her over this idea that, you've got to have everything completely, absolutely right. And if it's not absolutely, correct, you got to throw it away. And this is what she was doing. She was making a video and she'd show it to me, but then she wouldn't show it to anyone else. And I was like, okay, come on, we have to get this out of the room here, out of the closet. And so anyway, what happened with her was that I had her, and this is I have a Facebook group called Video Making Mastermind. And so I invited her just to share the video into the group only. And so only members of the group would see it there. And so it would be a relatively safe place. And the way the group is set up is that I go in and other members there will give feedback, but it's very positive feedback and encouragement. And so she started sharing videos there and started seeing that people really responded well to what she was doing and what she was saying. And from there, I encouraged her. She in addition to Facebook, actually reaches out a lot on LinkedIn, which is like a whole new frontier for sharing videos. And so she finally got the courage up, and she put her first video on LinkedIn. And within a week, a guy responded and, wrote her a notice on LinkedIn and said, "Oh, man, I really love this content that it's really helpful." And they got on a phone call, and he became her next client. And this is like a $5,000 client. And this is from her very first video that she went public with. I was like, wow, I guess it's working.
Nice.
And now she's doing a new video every week.
Excellent. And that just shows you, it just shows you the power of the videos. He saw it and he resonated with it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Good for you, Brad. Now, let's talk. We got about 8 minutes left, and I'd like to, let's pretend we have three levels of people. Someone who's just starting in business, someone who's been in business for, let's say, 18 to 24 months, somebody who's been in business for 5 years. They have done no Facebook Lives or very little. They've heard about it, but they're not sure how it can really fit into their marketing plan. What are one or two or three tips that you can give each level? And it's possible, one or more of the tips will apply to everybody, but just so they can start the process of understanding just how valuable it is, and then to do it.
All right. So for all three of them, I would say, video is just a great way to both build and engage your audience. So, however you've been exposing yourself to the world up until now, if you're doing video correctly and you have a good video marketing strategy in place, you can be talking to more people in the next couple of months than you have been in the last couple of years. Like it makes that big a difference. So there's no reason to sort of wait. You can, go out and start making video, particularly if you're doing live video, and immediately find yourself talking to, literally hundreds of new people right away on a regular basis. And so to me, it's like, well, why wouldn't anybody want to be doing that? Because it doesn't take a lot of time, and it's certainly not expensive. It doesn't really cost any money at all. So it's a very, straight ahead strategy. In terms of the difference between somebody who's just starting and someone who's been in business for a while, the people who've had their business for some time, they've got an audience of some kind, and so they can reach out to that, and they can use the videos as a new thing. When you're doing, let's say you're doing email marketing, you've already got an email list and you've been mailing to it regularly. They show that if you just simply put the word video in your subject line, it's going to increase your open rate. And if you have a thumbnail picture of the video in your, in the body of your email, it's going to increase your click-through rate. So if you're finding that you're sending out emails and they're not getting as much response as they used to, by creating a video and then saying, hey, I just made this video especially for you guys and it's on this subject, and you sort of create a teaser in the email itself of here's what this video is about and here's why you should go watch it, then that's a really good way to increase both the open rates and the click-through rates of the emails that you're sending to your current audience. And for the person who's right in the middle, I would say, again, like this is just a great way to really build your audience. And, I had a woman who she'd been working for maybe 6 to 8 months, and she decided that she wanted to do a Facebook Live interview series to grow her audience. And so we worked together for about 6 months, and she just did tremendously well. What she was doing an interview, she's a speech therapist, and she was interviewing another speech therapist every single week. So every single week she would get in front of a new audience of the guests that she had in these Facebook Live interviews. And some of her videos, within like 3 months, she was getting up to 10,000 views on a single video. And her business has just soared. She has a membership site, again, for speech therapists who come in and learn curriculum from her. And she charges them $25 a month, and she's now making over $30,000 a month from this membership site. So all of that was very, very successful.
$30,000 a month, listeners. Did you hear that? And that's from doing one live once a week, and she's also interviewing people in her own space, right? That's
right. Yeah, and I was really impressed by just how quickly this happened. Really, really fast audience growth. And one of the things that she did, which I thought was very clever, and it was part of the strategy that we developed together, was that as the engagement, in terms of getting people to listen all the way through, she would say, hey, if you watch this video and you are on today, I'm going to ask a question at the end, and if you answer it correctly, you get a chance to win a month in my membership site. And so she's promoting the membership site as well as getting people to stay until the end so they get a chance to win, which I thought was a brilliant strategy.
Yeah, that's excellent. I love that. And that also helps with the algorithms. If Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever site you're doing your live on, if people are commenting, even if you say something like, just so I know that this is resonating with everyone, can you please put a 1 in the comment? You'll hear people do that when you hear the live. And they're doing that because then that shows the engagement to the algorithms, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, prompting is a really important part. And in fact, you can set up auto responses through Facebook Messenger so that if you are asking people, hey, if you've got a headache, write headache in the comments. And of course, everyone who does write headache, you send them your free, guide to here's 3 ways to get rid of a headache. And nice. that responding to them can be done automatically through Facebook Messenger. It's very, very powerful.
Brad, can you give everybody your contact information? And I want to let the listeners know that if you're unable to write down Brad's contact information, this episode will be archived up on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com, as well as the radio station's website, WCAP 980 AM. Website within a couple of days of this episode. So I recommend that not only if you can, even if you can write it down, go back and listen to this because you've really listened to some gems that is going to help your business level up really quick. And like Brad and I have said, it's not going to cost you anything. And you can always delete the videos after. That's one thing we didn't mention. Even if you go live and you really don't like it at the end, you can just delete it. Am I right, Brad?
That's true, although you shouldn't do that. You should leave it there.
Yep, but I'm just saying, just to give them the confidence, the power. They don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Brad, we got like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you can go live just for yourself. You can say, you can pick the only me part of the menu, and then you're the only one who will see it. So that's a pretty safe way to start.
Okay.
So contacting me, awesomevideomakers.com is the address of my website. And if you go there, right on the homepage, I have a free awesome video toolkit that you can just grab for free. And it shows you how to go live with your smartphone and actually make very professional looking videos. So if you're going, I couldn't possibly do anything very nice with my phone, go and grab this toolkit and it will set you up for, making videos that look like you had some kind of $50,000 production behind you.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Brad. And everyone, you've been listening to Brad Powell of Awesome Video Makers on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. Have a great day, everyone.